My sister whispered to Mom, "She'll embarrass me in front of his family. Don't let her come. They never sent me the invite." But a week later, when her husband's boss saw my photo on a magazine cover, he called her in and said, "The day my family decided I was too embarrassing to be seen in public with them, I was standing under blazing studio lights while a wind machine tried to tear my hair off my head." "Harper, eyes here. Give me that eye on the room look," the photographer called. I shifted my stance, blazer catching the light, the New York skyline glowing behind me through the giant windows. The camera shutter snapped so fast it sounded like rain. Makeup lights, a whole crew watching me. That was my normal now. Not bad for the sister, everyone used to call the awkward one. My phone buzzed on the makeup station between shots. "Mom, big week for the family. So excited for Saturday." Saturday. My sister Madison's wedding. The event she'd been planning like it was a royal coronation. I smiled faintly and typed back, "Me. Yeah. Big week. You never sent my invite, remember? Need details if you still want me there." 3 dots appeared, then vanished, appeared again. My stomach tightened. 30-second break, the photographer yelled, "Don't lose that energy, Harper. You're fired today." I stepped aside, grabbed my phone, and before I could overthink it, I hit call a Mom's name. She picked up on the second ring, but she didn't say hello. I heard wrestling fabric, low whispers, and then Madison's voice, sharp and clear, right next to the speaker. "She'll embarrass me in front of his family, Mom." "I told you, don't let her come," Madison hissed. My fingers froze around the phone. Mom whispered back, "Maddie, keep your voice down." "What?" "You want her standing there in those oversized blazers and sneakers, talking about branding and launches to my fiancé's parents. They won't get her. She's too much. It's my day. I want it perfect." The world narrowed to the sound of my sister's voice and the white-hot sting blooming in my chest. "Mom," I said, my voice low. Everything went dead silent on the other end. Then Mom breathed. "Harper, I thought, honey, I didn't know you were on." "You called me," I said. "I heard everything." Madison's voice jumped in, sugary now, fake sweet. "Harper, you're taking that out of context." "Oh," I asked. "What's the context where I'm not good enough to stand in the same room as your husband's family?" She sighed sharply. "This isn't about you. It's about me. They're very conservative, and you're very big energy. You always draw attention. And you know how you dress now, the whole creative boss thing. I don't want anyone getting the wrong idea about us. Like my success somehow contaminated her." I stared at my reflection in the mirror. Sharp eyeliner, slicked back hair, tailored cream blazer, dark jeans, heels that meant business. I looked like the woman I'd clawed my way into becoming, founder of my own media startup, freelance creative, director, the girl who turned late-night editing sessions and unpaid gigs into real money and a growing name. "I'm not your problem," I said quietly. "I'm your sister." "Exactly," she shot back. "Which is why I'm asking you not to make this hard. We didn't send the invite because I don't want you feeling awkward, okay? You'd hate it there. Just watch the pictures online. We'll send you the video." Mom murmured, "Harper, sweetheart, try to understand." "No, it's fine." I cut in, hearing the steel slide into my voice. "You two already decided what I am, right? An embarrassment. Too much. Wrong vibe." "Don't be dramatic," Madison snapped. "You chose this life. The magazine shoots, the brand deals, the interviews. That's cool for you, but this is a different world." I felt my pulse in my throat. "Yeah," I said. "Apparently, a world I'm not invited to." She hesitated, then said the line that finally burned everything clean. "It's my big day, Harper. Please don't ruin it by making this about you. You can congratulate us online." A laugh slipped out of me. Sharp disbelieving. "Sure, wouldn't want to disturb your perfect picture." I lowered the phone, my hand shaking just enough to make me mad at myself. Then I ended the call before either of them could say my name in that guilty, pitting tone I hated. "Harper?" the photographer called from behind me. "You good?" I set the phone down, inhaled once, and turned back toward the lights. "Yeah," I said. "Let's finish this." I walked into the center of the set like nothing had happened. If they wanted to erase me from their little world, fine. I had another one to build. "Give me strong," the photographer said, Like you just decided you're not taking anybody's nonsense. I lifted my chin, let the anger settle into focus, and stared straight at the lens like I was daring the whole planet to underestimate me. Click, click, click. That's the cover, he shouted. That right there. Later that night, in my tiny Brooklyn apartment, I sat on my couch in sweats, laptop open, hair twisted into a messy bun. The glamour was gone, but the ache in my chest still pulsed. I scrolled through my email trying to stay busy. A subject line jumped out. Feature approval, urgent, Harper Lane. I clicked. Harper, we're thrilled to have you as our cover story for Visionary Women's Entrepreneur issue. Attached is the mock cover and final article draft. We go to print in 1 week. Please confirm everything looks okay. 1 week, same week as Madison's wedding. I opened the attachment. There I was on the mock-up, standing on that rooftop, city behind me, blazer sharp, eyes locked on the camera. The headline read Harper Lane, the creative maverick, who turned rejection into power. Rejection into power. My throat tightened. They didn't know the half of it. I thought about Madison's words. She'll embarrass me. Don't let her come about Mom staying quiet instead of defending me. About the years I spent hearing, why don't you be more like your sister? She's stable. She's safe. Stable. Safe. Approved. I had built something else. Bold, risky mine. My fingers hovered over the keyboard. Me replying everything looks perfect. Approved. Thank you. I hit send. I stared at my reflection in the dark and laptop screen for a long second. Not a bridesmaid. Not an honored guest. Not even welcome apparently. But soon, my face would be on newsstands and lobbies on coffee tables. They didn't send me a paper invitation. Fine. The whole state was about to see mine. The morning of Madison's wedding rehearsal, my social media exploded before my alarm even buzzed. My phone shook with so many notifications, it slid halfway off my nightstand. At first, I thought there was a glitch. Then I saw it. Visionary Women. Issue released early cover reveal. Harper Lane. My face, my name. Plastered across every platform. The magazine had dropped the digital cover a day ahead of schedule, right when my family was gathering at the country club for brunch, dress rehearsals, and final seating arrangements. The comments were unreal. She's leveling up. Harper Lane is the definition of unstoppable. Finally, someone representing real creatives. My heart kicked hard in my chest. I wasn't supposed to be thinking about my sister today. Not after what she'd said, but the timing was impossible to ignore. And 2 minutes later, Mom called. I let it ring twice before answering. Harper? She breathed, like she'd seen a ghost wearing my face. Your sister's in the bridal suite and her phone keeps buzzing with that photo. Everyone's talking about you. Is that a problem? I asked calmly, switching the phone to my other hand. And no, sweetheart. She stumbled over her words. It's just surprising. That's all. Surprising. As if I'd become successful in secret, like I'd committed a crime. In the background, someone said, Is that her? The sister? And my stomach tightened. Mom lowered her voice. Your sister is a little overwhelmed. Maybe give her some space today. I nearly laughed. I already have space, Mom. You too made sure of that. Before she could answer, a door opened on her end, and Madison's voice rang through. Sharp, irritated, frantic. Mom. Tell her to stop posting right now. Ryan's entire family is here, and everyone's staring at their phones. I didn't say anything. Madison snatched the phone. Harper, what is wrong with you? Are you trying to upstage me? Upstage you? I repeated, stunned. I didn't release anything. The magazine did. Well, tell them to take it down, she snapped. Like I had the power to pause a national publication. This is my weekend. My moment. And now, all anyone wants to talk about is you. I pinched my nose. Madison, I didn't choose the timing. And even if I did, why would my success threaten your wedding? It doesn't threaten it, she said, then lowered her voice to a cruel whisper. It ruins the aesthetic. You wouldn't get it. I closed my eyes. That was the real hurt, the one who wanted things neat, curated, controlled. Enjoy a rehearsal, I said, and ended the call. I didn't know her softness anymore. But while I was finally breathing easier, across the state, chaos was brewing. Because someone else saw the digital cover too. Madison seemed to be husband's boss, a sharp, no-nonsense executive named Andrew Collins, the man whose approval Ryan had been chasing for months. And 10 minutes after Madison melted down on the phone, he made a call of his own. I didn't find out any of this until later. All I knew was that around noon, my phone buzzed with a text from an unknown number. Unknown. Is this Harper Lane? Me. Yes. Who's this? Unknown. This is Andrew Collins. I need to speak with you immediately. I blinked. Ryan's boss. Why would he want to talk to me? Before I could respond, a second message came through. I just saw the magazine cover. You need to hear something about your sister. Call me back. My pulse jumped fast and sharp. Why would he bring up my sister? What did he know? I grabbed my keys, heart pounding, and stepped into the hallway while dialing his number. My hand actually shook as it rang. He answered on the first ring. Harper, he said, voice clipped direct. Thank you for calling back. You don't know me, but I know what your sister and her fiancé have been saying about you. My blood went cold. What do you mean? I whispered. He exhaled hard, like he'd been waiting to get this off his chest. Let's just say, he replied, your sister made a mistake and she made it in front of all the wrong people. I gripped my phone tighter. What mistake? I asked, my voice fairly steady. Andrew didn't sugarcoat a thing. Your sister and her fiancé spent all morning bragging to my team about how their wedding would be classy and exclusive. Unlike, he paused, choosing his words. Unlike you, my breath hitched. Heat crawled at my neck. He continued. They said you were the creative one who never grew up, and that your presence would confuse the older guests. They laughed about keeping you off the guest list, so the family photos would look more polished. I swallowed hard, silence pressing into my ears. Hearing it directly, word for word, felt like being kicked. But he wasn't finished. What they didn't know, he added, was that the president of our board was standing right behind them. His wife is a major supporter of female-led startups. Another pause. And she's a subscriber to Visionary Women. A cold spark lit inside me. Andrew exhaled. So imagine the look on their faces when your cover popped up on her phone and she recognized you immediately. I blinked. She recognized me. She admires your work, he said. Apparently she's been following your app launch for months. She told everyone, loud enough for the room, this girl is a powerhouse. Anyone mocking her is out of touch. My heart thudded so hard, I felt it in my ribs. And then he continued. She looked at Ryan and said, if this is how you talk about successful women, maybe you shouldn't be representing our company. I covered my mouth. Ryan, the golden boy with a curated life. The one Madison bragged about endlessly. The one she defended so fiercely she kicked me out of her own wedding. What happened after? I asked, barely breathing. Well, Andrew said. Ryan panicked. Tried to claim it was just a joke. But the board president didn't buy it. She said, and I quote, if you can't respect your own family's success, why should we trust you with ours? My jaw literally dropped. Effective immediately, he added, Ryan's promotion has been frozen. My eyes widened. And as for your sister, he cleared his throat. She was in tears at rehearsal. Your mom kept trying to calm her down. But she kept saying, Harper ruined everything. A bitter, humorless smile tugged at the corner of my mouth. I didn't ruin anything. They ruined at the moment they decided I wasn't worth standing beside. Harper? Andrew said, voice softening. I didn't call to gossip. I called because you deserve to know your worth isn't small. You're not the embarrassing one. They are. My throat tightened. But this time from something warm, validation I never expected from a stranger. Thank you. I whispered. One last thing, he added. The board president wants to meet you. She said your story is exactly the kind of leadership she wants to invest in. My heart stopped. Invest in meat. He continued. If you're available tomorrow morning, she'll be in Manhattan and wants to talk opportunities. I pressed a hand against my chest, feeling my pulse race with something fierce and electric. Yes, I breathed. I'll be there. For the first time in years, I felt like the world wasn't pushing me out. It was opening a door wide, almost daring me to walk through it. And I planned to. The next morning, Manhattan felt different, brighter, lighter, like the city itself knew something was shifting. I walked into the glass lobby of the Hudson Enterprise building wearing a fitted, navy blazer, straight-leg trousers, and confidence I hadn't felt in years. The board president, Alyssa Keaton, a woman who'd built 3 companies from scratch, stood waiting near the elevators. Silver hair, sharp suit, eyes that missed nothing. When she saw me, she smiled. Harper Lane, the girl who turned her own lane into a highway. I shook her hand. Thank you for meeting me. She motioned for us to walk. I've been following your work since last fall. Your app, your branding style, your ability to blend storytelling with design. It's exceptional. But yesterday, she gave a slow, approving nod. Yesterday proved something important. You handle pressure with grace. I held her gaze. I'm used to being underestimated. And that, she said, is exactly why you succeed. She brought me to a conference room with floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the skyline. We sat, and she got straight to the point. I want to invest in your company. I want to help you scale. And if you agree, I'd also like you to lead a creative initiative for women-owned startups we're launching next quarter. For a heartbeat, I couldn't speak. Because this room, this offer, this level of respect was the kind of moment I used to imagine on nights when I worked alone at my kitchen table, believing but never fully sure anyone would see me. I'd be honored. I finally said, good. Alyssa slid over a folder. Let's change the game together. While I was stepping into a new chapter, my sister's wedding day was falling apart across the state. I didn't know the details until my mom called that afternoon, her voice shaking as she spoke. Harper, sweetheart, your sister is devastated. I stayed quiet. Mom rushed on. People at the wedding keep asking her why she didn't invite you. They saw the magazine cover. They're saying the bride's own sister is a national feature and wasn't included in the family photos. A pause. She keeps crying backstage. Ryan's parents are furious with them for how they treated you. I exhaled slowly, not in satisfaction, not in revenge, but in release. The truth finally caught up to them. Mom, I said gently, I'm okay. Really? I know, she whispered. And that's what hurts her the most. There it was. The real reason they'd excluded me. They expected me to break. Instead, I rose. That evening, while their reception dimmed under whispers and awkward stares, I was in a rooftop restaurant overlooking the city, signing the partnership papers Alyssa handed me. When the ink dried, she lifted her glass. To success earned, not gifted. We clinked glasses, and I felt it finally my moment. My ending wasn't bitter. It was bright, because my sister tried to shut me out of her world, but I'd just been invited into one far bigger than hers ever was.